Good afternoon, Earth signs. This is your weekly read for next week. I'll do individual zodiac signs after this. Alright, going to get an overall energy for you using the fairy deck. Spirit, bring us, Earth signs, bring us true and precise messages for Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. For Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Spirit, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Earth signs. Bring me true and precise messages for the Earth signs, please. Give me the energy for Taurus, please. Overall energy next week for Taurus. And for Virgo, please. For Virgo. What's the energy next week for Virgo? Energy next week for Virgo, please. You don't have energy, Virgo. Overall energy for Virgo, Spirit. Oh. Okay. Overall energy for Capricorn next week. Overall energy for Capricorn next week. Too many. Overall energy for Capricorn. Thank you. Let's see next week. I don't know why. Oh. Alright, so fire signs, just Sagittarius just got this, Taurus, so you might be connecting with a Sagittarius. Well, it's time to take off the mask, Sagittarius or signs. It's time to remove the mask and bring out the truth, the sword of truth. Now, I know you're holding on to truths that you don't want to reveal, perhaps. However, truth will set you free. Use your solar plexus to have the strength and courage to just speak the truth and come forward. And also there's a lot of people watching you, Taurus, for whatever reason. A lot of eyes on you next week. Not everyone's going to be happy with your truth. I see that as well, but it's still going to be in your best interest in order to set you free. Aw, 26. Oh, that's gnome. Someone's having to give up some drinking or maybe indulging too much. His little nose. It's a number 8 card. He's just not wanting to see the truth. This little guy, it speaks of like his one eye's closed, one eye's open, because he knows he needs to speak his truth, but it's almost like he's pouting that he doesn't want to speak his truth, but more importantly, he doesn't want to see his own truth. This almost kind of goes hand in hand with this, that he needs to remove the mask so that he can see the truth and be in his truth, because here they're holding on to this sword of truth, but in reverse, meaning it's not the truth. So they need to flip it upright. With the light here on it, it represents it needs to. It also needs solar plexus, the courage to step forward, and not liquid courage with the alcohol, since his nose is all red there. Then also, maybe he finally is realizing people have been seeing and watching, and that he knows that people aren't going to all be happy with his truth. But there's a lot of people still watching the situation as truth reveal, or signs. Also feels vulnerable. This Virgo is feeling vulnerable here. You see that he doesn't have any clothes on, just his beard there covering himself. And he's pulling his hat down. It looks like he's pulling his hat down because it's the only cover he can hide with. So I think this truth that's exposed, he feels like it's exposing all of him, like he's leaving him vulnerable. Okay, it sounds like a tower moment, honestly, or maybe you're having the death and the rebirth, where now things are all enlightened and now you see all the lies or the truth that everyone else was seeing before, but you didn't really think anyone knew, which would make you all of a sudden feel vulnerable, right? The Capricorn here, this is so cute, but look, he's pointing right at his throat chakra, and you know why? Because he's got to speak the truth too. So all the earth signs are pretty much blending together with the same story. Truth needs to be spoken here. Your higher self is telling you that the truth needs to be spoken. Again, you have people in the background watching, peering through the dark shadows, watching this unfold. But at least with the Capricorn, you're ready to speak. You're kind of grinning about it, like, okay, you know what? It is what it is. I'm just going to take the leap of faith and speak it. And that's what you got to do. It's a good attitude. Just speak your truth. Yes. Okay, start. First signs, overall energy, please. Next week, overall energy for this coming week, overall energy for next week, please. Overall energy for next week. Some precise messages for your sign of their energy next week. Wow. Now you want to talk. Good Lord. I only wanted 5 cards first. 5 cards, that's it. Alright, so first up, who they're dealing with evidently is a Queen of Swords, or they think she's a Queen of Swords, I'm not sure. Let's see, got this with an earlier reading today too. Actually, that would go this way. I feel like okay, so down here was the actions they were going to take towards the person they're involved with, their counterpart, how they felt about their counterpart, or actions you're taking with your counterpart, not against them. Meaning your divine counterpart. If you're with a karmic, obviously not the karmic. If you want the karmic reading, that's in a different spread. Alright, that makes more sense. Thank you. Alright, so starting off, the earth signs are Queen of Swords. You're coming across as a Queen of Swords energy, being stubborn about not speaking up, being stubborn about not speaking your truth. Don't hate the messenger. Just the advice, of course, is going to be to speak up. In all 3 cards, we got that. So don't hate the messenger, that's what the card that says. Alright, but this does make you feel cold or left out in the cold. Thank you, Spirit. That makes you feel left out in the cold. Someone else set boundaries, or you feel like yeah, like you were left out in the cold. They're not replying to your messages, or they set up boundaries that don't think you can meet, or you're being stubborn about meeting those boundaries. Either way, you don't want to speak your truth about it. Spirit's guiding you to flip your sword upright, speak your truth, be in your truth, and you don't have to say it in a cold manner. You can just explain things from a truthful manner, which will always shed light on the situation for both of you. This is leaving you feeling left out in the cold next week, like you are being chased out of your own home, almost feeling like you're trying to, both you and your counterpart, perhaps you're trying to protect her from the karmic, or you're hoping that she brings you out of the cold. But the door is locked here. You're not, it's almost like you feel like you're not welcome in, like there's a guard dog or a karmic there keeping you from it, or an energy keeping you from going through that door. It's an illusion. Fear is an illusion. Uncover your eyes. Fear is an illusion. Alright? Take off the mask. Speak your truth. Put down the sword. Yeah, this is a 9 of swords. It's kind of like when he's, the saying is, lay all the cards on the table. Put all your truth out there and see what unfolds. See what is played out of those cards you lay out, right? Well, this is laying out all the swords that have been stabbed in someone's back, be it yours or your counterpart or someone else's. Lighting the candle, doing your, this reminds me of doing trying to manifest, as if you were hoping that you could take the pain back, but you know that you can't take that pain back. You can't fix words that were already spoken. You can't, undo demise, deceit, lies. Can't undo a three-party situation other than to cut the cord to it, or cut the connection. But you're listening, you're getting enlightenment from divine source, you're getting those dreams, the nightmares perhaps even, or you feel like they're nightmares. Your spirit guide's at your side the whole time. Listen to your spirit guide, tap into your spirit guide, talk to them. There's nothing, you're holding your own hands over your eyes. There's nothing to be afraid of, and it's not the dark. Remove your hands so that you can see. This is a perfect example. Like he's got his eyes covered and he's got one eye shut, but he's finally opening one to take a peek. And that's exactly, at least he's getting the courage. He's trying to take a look at what he didn't want to see. He's looking in the mirror and saying all the things that perhaps he did in a connection, or perhaps that was done to him in a connection, that needs to be repaired. But you can't start repairing something without speaking. The things that are illuminated in the moon light, right? The shadows are illuminated. The deceit, the lies that are illuminated during. Hang on. Somebody's just on the door. Yeah. I have no idea. Sorry. My plumber fixing the sink. If I stop it, then I gotta start all over. Not that you would mind. Might get a different reading, right? Alright, I do apologize. So the deceit, lies, things that were illuminated during that last moon, perhaps even. The towers here, though, they're upright, they're sturdy, they're there. It's a sturdy foundation. You just have to follow, to get on your path, you just have to not allow this crab to come up in between you. This crab here is something that has not been spoken, that is dividing you. There's perhaps battles. Maybe somebody opened the bee nest blindfoldedly, they didn't mean to, and it opened up a can of worms, so to speak. But the person that opened it, this person's sitting over here like it was a game. They did it to poke the bee's nest, right? Not knowing that everybody else was going to come swinging as well. But they shouldn't have poked the bee's nest, so really, they should be turning around and hitting him. But somebody wants a new beginning. This is basically, you want a new start. You understand the science of this journey. You're listening to your intuition. You want growth. With your counterpart, you're seeing or listening to the telepathic communication. You're reaching in your for that solar plexus, that courage, that strength. You're standing, holding firm to the connection. You see now that things have been spilt, blood's been spilt, wine's been spilt. You have an overflow of emotions lately, as well as the counterpart. You want calm waters, and you're taking a look at things that have lost, things that you would have to even walk away from for this connection. What do you have to surrender, sacrifice to have a connection as divine as this connection is? You are learning and doing some studying to understand this connection better, listening, like I said, about your intuition. You are willing to put the work in, and you're both working on this connection, and you are mirroring one another. This connection is divinely guided. It's at the soul level. You share the same soul. It brings peace, harmony. You have all the tools within you to make this work. You currently see your counterpart, though, as a Page of Swords in her truth, but perhaps you're afraid that she will wail that sword at you if you bring forth your truth. And nonetheless, nothing's further from the truth. Nothing would be further from the truth, because she is in her truth. She expects truth. She's looking for truth to come forward, to clear up any misunderstandings between both of you, so that you can come out of hangman mode and stop just pondering this and thinking of this, of all the what ifs. To move forward, Spirit says the time is now. You need to come out of the hangman mode and move forward with the light, to the light. Spirit, what do you have for the first signs, my bad. First signs. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. King of Swords, King of Swords. Yeah, you're not in your truth being stubborn. Okay, so you took a good look in the mirror and you saw that you didn't like what you saw, how you were being, the deceit, the lies, 3-party situations, 4-party situations, the side piece, etc. Spirit has shown you the multiple masks you were wearing, but more importantly, that you felt like then you were being laughed at, like you've been realized that everyone else already knew of what was going on. Everyone else around you already saw the actions and how you were behaving, or the actions being taken against someone, towards someone, etc. But it's an illusion. Spirit's showing you so that you'll come to your awakening, to make the change you need to accept and surrender for transformation. Most of you have recently gone through transformation, that cocoon stage, from caterpillar cocoon to the butterfly. You are ready to take flight with your wings. You are shining brightly. You've had a soul death and rebirth, probably even just in the last few days. You are no longer a zombie walking the earth. You are going to stand out, and there's no going back. Clarify 5 of Pentacles for the earth signs. Please clarify the earth. 5 of Pentacles for the earth signs. You need to have the strength, even if embody the bear that you are, Virgos. Dance to the beat of your own drum. Don't crush it, right? Take a stand. Turn your back on the illusions. Allow justice to come in and carry. These vultures are going to carry away the masks that you wore, the deceit, the lies that occurred during this week or in the past. Yes, sorry. Spirit says this week is this is going to be cleaned up, this cleared up with the truth of things of the past. Because the Chariot has to move forward and the time is now. Okay, hang on. Clarify the 9 of Swords, clarify 9 of Swords. Alright, so yes, people were watching of the mess that was made. You've made quite a mess, a lot of weeds you had to watch, and there were people watching, but you still need to tune into yourself, do the inner healing. The Wheel of Fortune is here to turn once you accept this transformation, this rebirth, and come into your truth. The Wheel of Fortune will turn for you on a dime, and you will be abundant. Clarify the moon. Clarify the moon, please, Spirit. All the shadow stuff coming up. Okay. Whoa. So this is going to get ugly. This is your ugly truth. This is spilling the tea. Sorry. So what was in the shadows? It was greed. A lot of greed. People holding on to their material possessions, thinking that that was created who they were, that their material possessions and what they made or this position they were in created them, and that really was an illusion of a faulty foundation. Ebenezer Scrooge card to me. Spirit has recently shown you the ways that you were, the many masks you wore in the past, the deceit, the lies. Again, don't need to keep drilling it into the wall. But you have seen now the error of the ways. Spirit has shown you these horrors that things that have occurred, how you were before you transformed. The Knight of Wands is the player. It's the Knight of Wands is the in and out, really thinking that you're using people of the opposite gender or the same gender, however, for games. You're just in sexual encounters as a game, thinking that it was fulfilling you, but it wasn't. 10 of Swords, all the times the stabbing in the back for yourself or for others, putting an end to this. And of course, even though all the devil energy, all the things and the deceit and the lies that were there were always people around watching. There were eyes upon you always. Also being seduced by the wrong person, being seduced by a karmic. But you have transformed. You are no longer a zombie. It's time to celebrate your transformation and come forward with truth. Dance to the beat of your own drum. Allow this Knight of Drums, this white buffalo calf spirit woman, to bring you the gifts, to bestow the gifts upon you, and step into the King of Cups and embrace the emotions, embrace your gifts that Spirit has given you. Clarify these 5 of Wands, please. Clarify the 5 of Wands. Leaving behind things that no longer serve you. Taking a good look in the mirror and not liking what you saw. You were pretending to be someone you weren't. Spirit has decided to thrust you forward onto the chariot so that things can move, because things need to move and they need to move now. There's a large urgency here. Spirit's telling you, he's throwing you in your throne. Whether you're happy about it or not, you will step up. Thanks, Spirit. Spirit saying that you will step forward, that this was your destiny. You were contracted for this before you reincarnated to Earth as a contract. There's a soul purpose, a mission that needs to be completed, and you play a large role in this. You are a healer, and you need to embrace the gifts that you were given. Share them with others. Again, the healer. This is Mama Bear healing. Go caring for the baby bear, watching out for the going within and healing herself, caring for others. Okay, so recently you realized that you were attacking other people and things were attacking you, perhaps even black magic or dark entities were attacking you. I know I just recently removed a dark entity spirit that was attached to a DM. You're turning your back on this energy so that you can embrace yourself. Spirit has again shown you, just going to pull them off from the back. Alright. Spirit has shown you the ways that you were then and the ways you need to go in the future, in visions, in nightmares or dreams, however you want to view it. But you're now aiming your truth, your sword of truth forward with the bow and arrow. It's going to bridge the gap between you and this counterpart, but it takes the truth to bridge this gap. It's the only way you'll be able to move forward, to come out of the cold for this new beginning. The vultures that you were with, the karmic that you surrounded yourself with, maybe friends, co-workers, or the karmic in your household. This is the princess of bow and arrows, swords. These are vultures all around. She wears bones around her sacral chakra for spell work and for evil, seducing. You were being seduced for the wrong reasons. Again, the page of bones or wands, coming forward in truth, but you need to still shed some more devil energy, the snake that's wrapped around your neck. Things are not as big of a deal as you think. You're overthinking this, you're overanalyzing it. This line is not this big. It's this person or karmic that's making you feel like a wee little man or a little man. But this is the karmic, the energy, whether it's someone you work with, a coworker. But Spirit says this is the energy that's making you feel like you're not worthy to step forward as your king or hierophant position. You need to be rid of that Ace of Wands in the beginning. King of Wands. You've had to wrestle this issue. This is, again, that karmic, that dark energy that you've had to wrestle. And again, more people have been watching this play out. Here's your dark energy. Again, with the sacral energy, seductress. Her wand of staff that she walks with is a cobra. And perhaps these anacondas, you felt like you were being squozed by one of these snakes. She also has a snake on her leg. But this is a dark entity that's attached to you, or a karmic that is keeping you feeling like your life's out of control. Take the leap forward. Okay. Page of Wands for the counterpart and how you're dealing with that. Spirit, clarify Page of Wands for how the earth sign is dealing with their counterpart. This divine counterpart. What they think of the divine counterpart. How they feel about the divine counterpart. Okay, so the Page of Wands, when listening to the telepathic communication, you know that it's the divine lover that's involved. The looking at things that you've lost regarding your pentacles. These pentacles were not stable anyways. They were faulty. They're damaged. You will get more pentacles with your divine connection. And you need to put to rest as a King of Pentacles, which is very earthy and very grounded, but you need to put to rest the battle, the fighting in your mind. This is more in your mind than it is verbally, I think, because otherwise you would be speaking your truth, right? So this is more mental anxiety, keeping and holding you back from your Nine of Pentacles. But the Sun wants to come out regarding this Lovers card here. You have two Lovers card here. Okay. How do they feel about the Lover? How do they feel about the Divine Feminine? I don't know if I have a flipper or not. Yeah. How could I miss? This is how you feel about your Divine Feminine. Ten of Cups, your wish fulfillment. You know that you cried out at some point in your life and chose to live and asked why, for Spirit to give you or to bring you that great love, someone that could understand you, someone that could fulfill that emotional void in your life or help you to see and be your true self. Ten of Cups, that's the Ten of Cups. And it's here. All you need to do is move forward and stop being an Eight of Wands, so that you can have the Ace of Pentacles together and put the work in Seven of Pentacles. But you do have to step out of the shadows of the moon. You have to step away from the shadows and all the stormy seas that surround you. You just have to come forward in your truth. I mean, they're words that are spoken. If the divine counterpart is already, she's in her High Priestess, if she's pulled back the power, it's because her energy is because she's in her power. And she already has gone through the similar healing, the same transformation and rebirth that you've had to go through. Just put down the burden and offer your Ace of Cups. You can have the strength. Take the leap of faith. Anything else for this connection? Yeah, no, we're not taking all those. Let me see. Alright, maybe. Alright, so I'm going to flip them back over. Ready? Surrender as a Knight of Wands. Surrender to the Great Divine for guidance in this connection, but also surrender your truth to the Divine Feminine. Temperance is here to balance this out. She will have mercy on you. She will have unconditional love for you regardless. She will have forgiveness and understanding. The Six of Wands is forward movement. You know she's the star that lights your way. She understands the quantum physics of this connection as well as you are. She wants calm waters between you. She understands that you've recently transformed, and so has she. But she does shine her light and waiting for you to guide you to the light, to the divine side, to come out of the darkness. With Two of Pentacles, there's no more juggling. That Four of Wands, it brings stability. You've recently had a death of your soul and a rebirth, while Spirit was protecting your inner innocence, your inner child, which represents your innocence in the whole matter. By having this rebirth, then your innocent or your inner child will then rejoins your soul. Ace of Wands. The communication has been like a rock in a hard place right now, but you need to remove this wand and come forward. Justice will prevail. Justice will bring you to your knees if you prolong this truth. If you prolong this communication, justice will prevail. This is a divinely guided connection that is being spiritually driven. The hangman here wants you to see it from another perspective. If you haven't regained another perspective by now, this is your perspective. You are dealing with the high priestess, your divine counterpart. You are the Hierophant. You both have a mission to accomplish. Alright, messages from Spirit. Ooh, that was a few. That was only going to be a couple. Your inner child healing is like setting the cocoon of a butterfly. It's in layers and not too fast. Temper your emotions. The inner child healing, you learn to go within. You are triggered when you are triggered and not react. Nurture yourself. Be the change that you want to see. When you look at the mirror, yeah, okay, I was going to say, but, oh, there is a song, that's right. Listen to the song, The Man in the Mirror. Google it, Man in the Mirror, it's a song. And since your card came out with that Man in the Mirror, it might be pertinent to you. Stand in your truth. Volunteer to help someone. Yeah, like the guy that's fixing my sink. Use spell protection around yourself. Black tourmaline works wonderful. It's easy to get at a metaphysical store. Spread your wings and soar. Smile more. You have a beautiful smile. Kunzite opens the heart chakra. You and your divine counterpart will soon exchange sweet, passionate words. See, that's all the confirmation and the guidance you need right there. You can come forward. Happiness shared is happiness doubled. Ask your spirit guides. Stop blaming others, including the divine counterpart. If you're seeing synchronicities of numbers 8888, seek support from your spirit guides. Angels there giving you gifts and protection. 1111 is the awakening process. Get into mission now. Spirit, what messages do you have for Taurus, please? Give me a card for Taurus, please. What messages do you have? Okay. Don't mind me, I drop things. It's an energy thing. Taurus, you have wonderful news is on its way. Smart choices that bring reward, success, and public recognition. Very nice. That's going to go there with that one. Virgo. Oh, you got a bear. I like it. Reach out to others for comfort and love. You will grow stronger from the situation. Sadness that will heal with time. Okay, that looks as sad as that one. Maybe I'll pull you another one. Can we get a happier one for Virgo? We need a happy card, Spirit. Get us a happy card for Virgo. Thank you. Oh, you got two this time. Let go of belief systems that no longer work for you. An important life-changing event. A situation that leads to significant opportunities is ahead. Okay, and I like this one. children or childhood. The return of people or romances from your past, and this could just be a week ago past, doesn't have to be past life, but for many of you, the DMDS, they are past life relationships is coming reincarnated to this life. Remembering events differently in a better or a worse light and how they really occurred. Yeah, that goes back to perspective. You have to be honest with yourselves. It's like when people die, they all of a sudden the family members make them out to be angels, and maybe they weren't. Maybe they were a mass murderer or something, you know. But their family members think, oh, now that they're gone, they've got to make them into these saints. Be realistic. Be true to yourself. Just follow truth. If they weren't a great person, well, they walked the earth. They weren't a great person. I mean, if they were, great. Capricorn. Trust that there is a reason for everything that happens. Remove yourself from the negative emotions of others, focusing on which frightens or worries you. And last message from Spirit. Any other advice for the earth sign, Spirit? Any other advice for the earth signs? Okay. Embrace the change. Shine your light. Giving and receiving, yes. If you want love, you receive love. If you receive love, you give love and passion. Don't be stingy. Don't be holding it all in. Don't be greedy with yourself. Alright, Earth signs, it's a pleasure. I hope you have a blessed week.